Humber College observes Remembrance Day. We have coverage from the North Campus ceremony.
A mob boss is killed in Montreal, and the Humber soccer teams play their first games at Nationals. Humber News starts right now.
Hello, it's Thursday, November 11th, 2010. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at North Campus. I'm Pam Ball. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Scott Money. Coming up on our show, we'll have all your news, sports, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, Pam has our top story.
In honor of Remembrance Day, Humber College students and faculty gathered in the atrium at North Campus to pay respect to soldiers who lost their lives for our country. Reporter Maddie Jo Tillapa has the story.
People of all ages came out for Humber College's 44th Remembrance Day Ceremony. Spectators from the Humber community were able to show support for our troops and respect for fallen soldiers. The event's Master of Ceremonies, Carrie French, says Remembrance Day is so important, people don't need to be reminded to pay their respects.
This is something that transcends race, creed, gender. You look at the faces on the photographs of the people who've paid the price in Afghanistan, and it's a true Canadian mosaic.
The assembly featured musical tributes from the Dean of Hospitality, Alistair Matheson, music student Sean White, and Humber's daycare children. Today is the day that unites all Canadians, because we remember those who sacrificed their lives to make Canada what it is today. Maddie Jo Tillapa, Humber News.
Canada's fallen soldiers are being honored in the nation's capital today. Just before 11 a.m., groups of bagpipers and war veterans marched from Cartier Square Drill Hall toward the War Memorial. The annual ceremony began with the playing of the last post, followed by the 2 minutes of silence. Remembrance Day has been held throughout the Commonwealth since 1919. Recently appointed Governor General David Johnston got his first chance to preside over today's ceremony, as the Prime Minister is overseas.
Canadian veterans have a new man representing them in Ottawa. Guy Parent begins his new job today as Canada's Veterans Ombudsman, replacing retired Colonel Pat Stogren. Parent says he will take a conventional approach as an intermediary between veterans and the government. This is something he says his predecessor failed to do. The new ombudsman says some of the issues he will focus on during his 5-year term are pension payments, the new Veterans Charter, and the lack of recognition and treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder.
In the GTA, transit agencies are honoring veterans, offering them and their traveling companions free rides today. Go Transit is offering veterans free all-day travel. They must identify themselves by wearing medals, beret, blazer, or uniform. The offer also applies to immediate family members of deceased veterans who show service papers or an ID card. The TTC is free for any veteran displaying service medals and ribbons. At the CN Tower today, Veteran Legion Hall members and the Canadian Armed Forces get free admission to the lookout and glass floor. And to keep your eye on the sky, the CN Tower will be lit poppy red all night.
York Regional Police have ruled out the car they had identified as possibly being linked to a fatal home invasion in Markham. Police say the owner of a silver Acura saw news reports about the car and came forward. He is not a suspect. Following the home invasion on Monday night, a 53-year-old woman was shot and killed. Her 57-year-old husband remains in hospital in serious condition. Their 24-year-old daughter was not injured. Police are still looking for 3 suspects.
Back on campus, Pink was on the menu at Humber's Lynx Pub last night. Fashion met music to raise money for the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation. Reporter Simon Rice was there.
What started out as a class project came to fruition as a fun-filled night of music and fashion to raise funds for a worthy cause.
Well, the event started because we're a group of hospitality and restaurant management students, so the event is graded. The idea stemmed from all the media and charitable efforts that are going and happening right now for breast cancer research.
The apparel for the evening was generously donated by local Toronto designers, featured fall and winter fashions. organizers had said they wanted to raise at least $2,000 for the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation tonight. And while the energy in the room is high, the attendance is disappointingly low. Simon Rice, Humber News.
And from a story about clothes to no clothes at all, a Timmins couple is feeling the heat after being pulled over for driving in their birthday suits. The arresting officer stopped the Easy Riders after he observed their car making an awkward turn. While driving without clothes is not against the law, 22-year-old John Kieran Hansen was charged for driving with a suspended license. His 21-year-old female passenger faced nothing more than a little embarrassment.
Stick around. Coming up, we'll have more news from Canada and around the world. Phil Heidenreich will have your sports, and Rachel Yeager will have your 5-day forecast. All that and more in just a few minutes.
We're still above historical averages, and it looks like it will stay that way for the rest of the week. I'll have your 5-day forecast after the break.